Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of Trading Bitcoin with your host Tone Vase, coming to you from the attic in somewhere in Amsterdam. Man, this place is expensive. Jeez, even renting an attic was expensive. Miss my Ukraine, miss my Thailand. Off to Prague tomorrow. So today I have Bitcoin Wednesday. This will be my last night. It's early in the morning here, not that early. It's about 9:15. I've been up early in the morning, but like just been catching up on messages. So glanced at the price of Bitcoin. I wasn't sure if we were gonna do a Bitcoin brief today, so I figured, hey, why not play it safe? Let's get. Oops, hold on a second. I figured, hey, let's get trading Bitcoin out the way, just so I have a look at the price of Bitcoin. Let me just check that everything is working. Yeah, I guess I can like close that little window, and it doesn't really matter at this point. Let me pause. Let me not. I don't need to watch it. We got 200 people on already, and I know I'm going a little earlier. I don't know if Corey's awake over at it's midnight, where he is, I believe, or something like that. And hey, thank you for the tip, Mike. Much appreciated. All right, let's. Audio and video was good. Thank you, Bakaroos, for the info. All right, let's get to it. I'll do my announcements after. It's hard for me to keep an eye on your chat. If any admins are in here, feel free to text me. I have some questions from our last video that Corey sent me that I totally forgot to answer. So I will, I'll be answering those today. Okay. So let me just, oh man, that's what I was afraid of. Because now I lost the video stream. All right, hold on. Sorry. I need to do this and this. Actually, I don't need that. We need that. 1 second. Corey, you're on. Beautiful. Yeah, feel free to send some more questions my way, and I'll still keep an eye on your last set of questions. All right, cool. Okay, we're good to go. Let's do screen share. This screen. Got it. All right, workshop update. So well, I'm actually going to expand this page. I'm now going to be doing workshops like further out in time, even though I like the last minute stuff. But hey, Chiang Mai's next. Not a lot of seats left. I heard the venue is amazing. It's a historic venue. I can't wait till the price of Bitcoin goes back to $20,000. I'm going to be doing my workshops in some of the coolest venues. Like next time I come to Amsterdam, I'm going to try and do the workshop at Amsterdam Stock Exchange and like all these other ones. Maybe we'll do it at the hotel you see in the picture one day at the Sands, which is expensive as hell. Hey, everybody benefits when Bitcoin price goes up. So Chiang Mai, Singapore, Perth, we doubled up on Melbourne. I hope, hey, Aussies, you guys are coming through. You guys are registering. This is great. And Sydney is going to be 2 days. And guess what? We've added Auckland, New Zealand. Added Auckland, New Zealand. I really hope people sign up. I will come through Auckland. Just heard something about when you fly into New Zealand, they are pretty serious about checking all of your electronics. So please be aware, just a heads up. But I am going to come through Auckland. I'm going to teach the little workshop there. Hopefully I can get about 10 people. I know it's not a big country, so check that out. And if you've already registered for one of the Australian ones and you are coming from New Zealand, you can always switch to the New Zealand version. So just email us and we will set that up for you. All right, that's it. The affiliate codes, please, if you like my work and you want to keep supporting my work, and I will be adding more affiliate codes. I just haven't had time to like, work out, make sure that the companies are legit and stuff. I might be adding, like, I have a lot of connections in like the OTC space. I might be adding a bunch of, hey, buy OTC Bitcoin, because people call me up. Hey, I know someone that wants to buy a lot of Bitcoin. I know someone wants to sell a lot of Bitcoin. I personally don't get involved. I don't need that kind of trouble. But I could connect you guys with legitimate places where you could buy and sell large quantities of Bitcoin with KYC, of course. And Amazon links, if you like to support my work and you like to shop at Amazon, please click on one of these links and click on one of these links, do your shopping. I recommend these products because I use them, but other than that, you can do your own shopping. All right, cool. I think that's enough. Education, learn trading. This section's still here. One day I will revise it, but not today. Price. We now have a new monthly price. We also have, we are getting much closer to the combination of the 30-month moving average, and we're now getting a lot closer to the combination of the 30-month moving average. Wait, oh, cool. All right, got it. Sorry about that, guys. Just checking messages. I thought there was something important. So we're getting closer, right? It's next month. Next month is key. Next month is November. I have this, unfortunate, eerie feeling that the month of November, we're finally going to hit my 5,000 level. It could be this month. It could be this month. But I'm a creature of pattern, I guess, which is how I became a technical analyst and a trader. So I continue to go back to this monthly chart. Oh, maybe I should cut the video feed so that I'm not blocking the upper right-hand corner, but I think I'm okay. So you see right here in November, it's so weird how the 76.4% Fibonacci line and the 30-month moving average crossed in the month of November. And they're going to cross in the month of November again next month. It's just weird. It's really weird. And you can see how in the month before that, the month of October, the price of Bitcoin had fallen and bounced off of that 76.4% Fibonacci line, which was $284. And so many people thought that the bounce was over because from that $284, we bounced all the way back to the trend line and all the way back to the 62% Fibonacci line of 460. So we went up like 80% off that point. I don't see why this time is going to be any different. I don't think it's different this time. Everyone says it's different this time. I always say it's not different this time. So I don't know. It makes me nervous that in the next this month or next month or sometime in between the next 2 months, we can drop to the 76.4% Fibonacci line and the moving average. Then we can easily bounce back to the trend line. See, last time the trend line was crossing the 62%. This time the trend line is much steeper. Like I keep telling people that the current bear market is more bearish than the 2014 bear market. We are falling faster. We are falling steeper. There is nothing in this bear market that says you're going to be as nice and calmly and collectively going down as we have here, okay? And look what happened at the very end. At the very end, we had this monster capitulation that took us from the 30-month moving average / 76.5% Fibonacci line down, and it bounced right off the 50-month moving average. Now, I love the fact that the 50-month moving average was never broken on a closing basis. Let's hope that the current 50-month moving average line is never broken on a closing basis. Because don't forget, My most pessimistic target is this line. And clearly, and that's the line at around 1300. So clearly, the 1300 is well below the 50-month moving average. Okay. Now, as of right now, I see the current bear market as being weaker than the 2014 bear market. Don't tell me about the fundamentals of Bitcoin. I am probably more aware of the fundamentals of Bitcoin better than 99% of the people watching. Okay. In my presentations about the ICO bubble, I talk about how the NASDAQ reached its peak in the year 2000. The NASDAQ did not hit a new all-time price high until 2015. So what do you think happened between 2000 and 2015? Did the underlying fundamentals of the NASDAQ or of the internet itself ever deteriorate? Of course not. The internet continued to strengthen between 2000 and 2015. The amount of adoption of the internet was going up exponentially. Smartphones came in 2007. By 2015, like 90% of Americans were on a smartphone, okay? So don't tell me that the fundamentals matter when it comes to the speculators, okay? If the fundamentals of the internet mattered, the internet stocks would have been at an all-new all-time high by 2003, 2004, certainly in 2007, but we did not hit new all-time highs until 2015. Now, granted, there was the 2008 financial crisis, but the internet continued to go up exponentially. Still took till 2015 for the NASDAQ to go to new all-time high. And by the way, it wasn't even close. The NASDAQ was not even close to its all-time high in 2008 or 7, whenever it topped the second time. So fundamentals are irrelevant here. It's all about the speculators. When Mike Novogratz panics, at 4,500 and sells his stash, the price of Bitcoin can fall to 1,300 and then rebound to 4,000 within a week. Okay, so fundamentals don't matter here. It's about the speculators. So you got to be careful. You got to be careful. Technicals are not good right now. They're just not good. All right, that's the monthly chart. I like the fact the monthly chart is updated. So I started catching up on Hyperwave. I'm still like 3 episodes behind. It's funny. I don't like to follow the rules. I don't like to follow directions. I like doing my own thing. And me and the creator of Hyperwave, Tyler Jakes, disagree on what the 6th wave of Hyperwave is, right? Sorry, the 5th wave of Hyperwave is, right? I think it's this, and he says it's this. Okay, so he says it's 2 weeks, and I say it's 6. So it's just like, it just makes more intuitive sense to me. Okay, it doesn't mean that I'm right. It doesn't mean that I'm right. But the fact that I can do it and it can frustrate some people makes me happy. And this is what trading is all about. Trading isn't about following someone else's directions. Trading is about doing something that works for you, that you're able to, that makes sense in the market. Doing something that works for you that you can profit from, okay? You have to make it your own. You have to make it unique. That's why Tyler has a name for moving average movements known as Consensio. That's why Tyler has a name for what everyone calls a bubble, Hyperwave, okay? You make it your own. You make it make sense to you. And then you follow your own plan, and that's how you profit in trading, okay? The main reason why this Hyperwave line makes so much sense to me is because I can draw a very clean 7 line. Because if I have to start drawing my 7 line from up here, it makes it very hard for me to draw it and say the weekly price has stayed below the phase 7 line. But if I draw my phase 7 from here, I can draw a clean phase 7 line where nothing has yet closed above phase 7. However, we need an imminent crash. And we're coming up on this line, which may or may not be correct. I don't have time to look into it. Okay, so watch Tyler's hyperwave. I continue to think that this is the hyperwave. I continue to think that this is the right way to do it. But we'll see. We'll see. Tyler disagrees, obviously, but we'll see. Time will prove one of us right. So here's the weekly chart. It's so weird that the stop and reverse points are so flat. Now, I am new to the stop and reverse concept. I learned that from Tyler myself. I also threw the Bollinger Bands on. I like the fact that the Bollinger Bands are contracting. The Bollinger Bands are contracting is a possibility that we will stay in the $6,400, $6,500 area for the foreseeable future until eventually going up. I'm already seeing a lot of tweets of people getting frustrated with Bitcoin, getting bored with Bitcoin, but I'm going to need to see a lot more of those. All right, bread and butter. This is what we're looking at. This is what we're looking at. I have heard that many other traders that see this triangle, but believe that this triangle will bust out to the upside. I'm not exactly sure why they think that, other than the possibility that so many people are expecting the triangle to break down, including myself, that they want to be the contrarians and try to time the breakout of the triangle, maybe back into the 200-day week moving average, and then a breakdown. Sorry, the 50-week moving average, not the 200-week. The 200, I believe, is down here. And I dropped the 7-week. I didn't find it very useful, but I'm loving the 30-week. I'm loving the 50-week. And the 50-week is about to turn down in a couple of weeks. That would be interesting. The 50-week moving average does not float around very much. If you look back at the history of Bitcoin, the 50-week moving average turned from bullish to bearish in October, late October 2014. We are in line identically for the 50-week moving average to turn in October of 2018. Where did the 50-week moving average turn back to the upside? That was in November of 2015. So that's over a year away. Over a year away for the moving average to turn back over. Now, we bottomed way earlier, right? We bottomed initially here somewhere, bottomed initially here in January of 2015, secondary bottom in August of 2015, the moving average crossed, and then the 50 turned. Now, the cross should happen before the 50 turns. You can see how the depth cross took place before the 50 turned. The depth cross took place once again before the 50 turned. And the 50 is going to turn probably in late October, early November, exactly in line with what happened back in 2014 bear market. I don't like it. I don't like this at all. The last, I mean, we clearly have this descending triangle, right? The last two dead cat bounces were very weak, very weak. They did not even get you to the move to the 30. They did not even get you to the trend line of the triangle. And it's possible that this miss and this miss will have one more push just to get all the bulls on the wrong side of the market. We can have one more push, maybe break this triangle a little bit to compensate for the two misses. Maybe, doesn't have to happen. I still believe that the triangle is going to break down. We are now at 64.30. Once we get down to 6,200, people are going to start to get very nervous, okay? We are still on a price flip. The weekly is telling you not to trade. It's telling you to wait. Wait for what happens at the end of the triangle. You still have until December before the triangle ends. The triangle ends the way I had drew it on the first week of December, okay? But they usually break down before the peak of the triangle. That's all I have to say. We can take a look at the oscillators. It's consolidating in its own triangle. Let's see what happens. Oops. The MACD is useless. Let's move on. First target has not changed. Daily. The daily finally gave you a short trade. Finally, okay? The daily gave you a very dangerous long trade on September 22nd with the green 2 going above the 1. Since then, and I would have warned people to be very careful. Since then, there has been no trade. On September 25th, we had a price flip to a red 1. September 26th, red 2 did not go below the red 1. September 27th, red 3 did not go below the red 2. Then we have a price flip to the bullish side. On the bull side, the green 2 did not go above a green 1. I just saw that a green 3 did go above a green 2. But remember, we're bearish. We are in a bearish zone. I would have told you to be very careful with this. The following week, we price flipped, so you should be in cash. This, however, I know I didn't do a video yesterday, so everything is hindsight. This is a daily bearish trade. Because remember, our hourly, our 4-hour, our 12-hour, they've all gone bearish. I'm sure I told you about those, okay? Your daily went bearish. Everything is going bearish. Hey, I got a tip. Thank you, Powell. Let's see what you wrote. If the price of Bitcoin breaks significantly upwards in the apex of the triangle, can that trigger a new FOMO? The short answer is yes. The long answer is it's complicated, but the short answer is yes. How high can that FOMO go? It can technically get us out of the bear market. But we have to watch it and study it. Is it possible for the FOMO of a breakout to the upside of the triangle to get us out of the bear trend? Absolutely. I should probably go back to that. Corey, throw that in there if you're going to give me a new set of questions. Maybe I'll go back to that. Good question. I like good questions. I like it even better when good questions come with a little tip. Thank you. Thank you, Paul. So the daily is on a bearish trade. This is when you go bearish. Now, be careful. You can add to your position with a red 3 below a red 2, which already happened. You can add to your position with a red 4 below a red 3 because you're about to start breaking to new lows. This is the 4-hour chart. Sorry, the 12-hour chart. The 12-hour chart also gave you a short trade as of a red 2 going below a red 1. This took place at 65, 67.50-ish. What's the low here? 65, 65, whatever. In that vicinity, 65.70. All right. And the daily gave you the short trade as of 65.06. The 4-hour gave you a short trade yesterday, October 1st. Now we're in October 2nd. Oh, we're October 3rd now. The next short trade was, there was never a long trade. Green 2 never went above a green 1. The next short trade on the 4-hour took place at 65.67. So the same time as the 12-hour. That's a good combination. Now you did start to fall. You rebounded and you made this dragonfly doji style, doji candle, and you never went above that doji, so there was never a bullish trade on the table. And now you're on a red 6 looking for a red 9. The 1 hour almost got you to a 9. Now you still have 19 minutes. It's still possible. All you got to do is drop like $5 more. All you got to do is fall below this close of the 5 candle, and then I'll have my 9. I'll have my arrow, even if it closes as a 1 candle. That would be so nice to see on this chart. Come on, buddy. Give me $5 more down. You know, you can then go all the way to 100,000 if you want, but I want to see that. I love seeing my green arrows like this. We would need to fall below the low of the 6 candle, which is 64.40 in order to get a perfected 9. I'm like watching this. I really want to see this dip like $5 lower. 60. What is it? You can't see. What was the close? 64.63.80. I just needed to drop $1. I just needed to drop $1 more. Come on, Bitfinex, drop $1. So I can see a 9 there. $1. Come on. Come on, buddy. For $1. Somebody sell like half a Bitcoin on Bitfinex right now for me. Like all watching with anticipation. There it is. Thank you. Thank you, chat. Thank you, chat. Somebody sold half a Bitcoin. It's not a perfected 9 though. You're gonna have to sell about 40 Bitcoin right now, real fast, and then I can get like a nice deep green candle, but that might be a little too much to ask for. Anyway, so there's your 9 on the 1 hour chart, and like it's not a 9 at the low. It would have been nice and clean, but still, the 1 hour chart is telling you, hey, if you entered this trade based on the rules of the sequential, then you would have entered it on a green 2 going below a red 1, a red 2 going below a red 1, right? Your initial stop loss probably would have been above the swing highs. And this trade's now profitable, right? It's been profitable. And you can take your profit off this trade anytime. Now, I believe this is going to be a continuation 9. We already have a countdown going to 13 right now. And I think we're going to set off a new countdown. So we can look for a 1 to 4 candle reversal on the 1 hour. It's possible the correction has already taken place. We've already had, 2 candles of corrections coming off the low here. It's kind of like a general thing. Look for a 1 to 5 candle correction. So we'll see what happens. It can always go back to the breakdown level of that line. But this is generally bearish looking to me. Moving averages might need to catch up a little bit. But remember, your 4 hour is still bearish. Your 12 hour is still bearish. Your daily is now bearish. All of these time frames are bearish. The 1 hour is the only one that's telling you, hey, your 1 hour momentum is coming to an end, but it can regroup and start up again, which I believe that it will. So all time frames are turning bearish. The only one that's still neutral is the weekly. The weekly is the only one that is neutral. Now, remember, if this candle, what's today? Today is only Wednesday, right? So if you go 4 candles back, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if we drop to below 62.36, this is going to be a red 2 candle below the red 1, okay? If we drop by Sunday. And that gives you a short trade on a weekly. And now you have all of your and now you have all of your time frames weekly all the way through 1 hour bearish. Well, maybe the 4 hour and the 12 hour will have short-term rebounds. I'm curious what the monthly counts are. See, the monthly is on a green price flip, right? However, the month is only 2 days old. All we have to do is go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 4 back, right? What was the close of this month? It was 63.88. All we got to do is drop another, what, $100? And all of a sudden, this is a red 3 below a red 2, giving you, here, a red 3. Well, it was like a red 2 below a red 1 back then, right? So you got to be real careful here. Hey, thank you, James, for your tip in Hong Kong dollars. Let's see what you wrote. Hi, Tone. What do you think of the BFT chart trading at Bitfinex? What the hell is BFT? It is Simon Dixon's token from Bank to the Future. Yeah, Simon Dixon's. You know what? I don't know. I like Simon Dixon as a person. I don't like the fact that he has a token. Now, I know what the next question is going to be, and my answer is I'm not telling you. I have only ran into 2 tokens in the ERC20 realm that are not scams. They're not good investments either, but they're not scams. I have recently been informed about a 3rd, and it's possible Simon Dixon is the 4th. Okay, yeah, BCAP is one of those tokens. Do not buy into BCAP. It is the dumbest investment you can possibly make in your life. However, it's not a scam. I don't know what BCA is, so it's not BCA. MaxCoin is not an ERC20. MaxCoin is a proof of work blockchain. So I don't know. I need to. I might look at BFT. I should probably next time I see Simon Dixon, I'm gonna have a nice long chat with him about his token, so that I can make the right decision whether it falls into my 0.1% bucket of ERC20 non-scams, or unfortunately it doesn't. I hope it falls into that bucket. I really do, because I like Simon. Anyway, let's move on. All right, so that's it. So there you go. We're on a 9. We got 12 minutes to go. I don't think we're going to drop below the 6 candle, which is what we need for a perfected 9. It's not the middle of the night that that you want to worry about to immediately call Tone if we break below 5K. If it's in the middle of the night, like if I feel like we're gonna drop it, I'll be waking up a few times a night to check the price. My phone is completely on silent. Calling me in the middle of the night is useless. Like it'll never ring. My phone is perpetually on silent. However, me being on a flight from, let's say, Kiev to Thailand, or New York to Hong Kong without internet, that's more likely to not be reachable. Shorts continue to rise. I don't know what the hell this metric is, but I still watch it. And thank you, James, for your follow-up. So I continue to watch it, and the shorts are starting to pile up. Maybe there'll be an epic short squeeze. However, I still think price is king, and I think the big boys are going to get hurt, not the little ones. Thank you, Marcel, for your little tip for my coffee. Ethereum is not looking good. Ethereum now has a pretty bad day. If Ethereum drops below 0.0325, I think Ethereum is going to fall hard. I think Ethereum is in serious trouble. I think Ethereum has a major scaling problem, and Ethereum's more centralized competitors like Tron and EOS and Waves and you name it, are starting to take a bite out of it. Ethereum Classic, probably they're going to start to take a chunk out of Ethereum, and then when those centralized but grossly inefficient databases start to get inefficient because of too many smart contracts on top of them, then more centralized versions of EOS. I know it's hard to believe you can make a more centralized version of EOS and Tezos, but you can. And when those blockchains start to become grossly inefficient, more centralized versions of EOS and Tron and Waves and Tezos are going to take a big bite out of those databases, right? So I think Ethereum's in major trouble. Stock market. I am generally bullish here, but I still want to wait a little bit longer, right? Let's see how, and we're going into earnings season, but if I was in a retirement fund, I would be 100% invested S&P 500. You are near all-time highs, and it looks really, really good. Really, really good. EOS definitely has leaders. Sorry, Ethereum Classic has leaders. It has total leaders. Barry Silbert owns God knows what percentage of Ethereum. It's Classic. Ethereum Classic is just decentralized. Gold rebounded. Look at that. So gold was looking like a complete and utter disaster, right? So last week's gold price, trading is hard, guys. Last week's gold price was looking like it was going to close at a brand new 2-year weekly closing low. That would have been grossly bearish. However, at the end of the week, it rebounded. It rebounded off the aggressive 13 on the current week. We are on a bullish price flip. And when this happens, you need to get out of that short trade, right? You see this red line? That red line is the entry for the short trade. There's no way you should be in this short trade right now. Do not double down in a losing position. You needed to get out of that trade. If you did not set a break-even stop loss on this trade, you should be out by now. Take your small little loss. This is at just under 1,200, and this is only at 1,207. So it's a $10 loss in the price of gold. So what? Okay, gold can easily rebound back to 1,270 before its inevitable collapse to $1,000. Okay, I think the fate of gold is done. I think whatever it does here is only short term. I think just people got overzealous to the downside, just like it's been happening in Bitcoin. Price flip could give you a bullish trade. This is a dead cat bounce in gold. I mean, gold was supposed to hold. Gold was supposed to break out of 1,400. When gold could not break out of 1,400, it's done. I mean, it's just done. We could, I mean, we can put one more trend line in here, you know, like that. All we do is like drawing these like little rays. Maybe I can pick the candle high or something, you know. They're not perfect, but like it's just done. I can't see it. I just can't see it. You know, I'm gonna fudge this a little bit. We'll put this at candle close. Anyone surprised that gold topped on a weekly 9? I'm not. Oh man. There you go. Boom, another one. All right. Like maybe I should put like a Fibonacci fan on here or something. I don't know. But gold was supposed to break out. It didn't. It's totally screwed. And these are your hyperwave lines. So this is the next hyperwave line, right? That's probably a phase 2. That's phase 3. That's phase 4. So you extend it. If gold falls soon enough, we will fall to under 1,000 and hold phase 2. I wonder what Tyler thinks if we break below phase 2. Are we going to go back to phase 1? Because phase 1 is $300. That would be hilarious. Oh man, the gold bugs would have a heart attack. The Bitcoiners will do well though. All right. Didn't I look at TLRY already? I'll glance at it. Thank you for your tip, Elias. Sorry, I'm sitting too far away from the screen. Yeah, you know what? I'll pull it up. I'll pull it up now, or I'll forget. Oh man, it's almost 10 a.m. I gotta do work. I got a lunch meeting. Shoot. TLRY. This is how I procrastinate. This is how I procrastinate work, by doing videos. So I looked at, oh boy, okay. So my TLRY is my AMD chart. My AMD chart is my TLRY chart. Oh shit. Okay, that's not good. What about my AMD chart? Do I have an AMD? I do have an AMD. I have an AMD weekly, and it says daily. Jesus Christ. Okay, let's get this right. I'm gonna go to this. This is the AMD chart, since I have it up. See, I told you to be careful with AMD. It gave you a bullish trade, but right here, that bullish trade is gone. Bearish trade as of yesterday. AMD is a little over exhausted, coming up on earnings. RSI looks bad, MACD looks bad. You should not be long AMD. I would be short AMD as of yesterday, actually. Wish I looked at it yesterday. And I would be totally short AMD as of yesterday. Beautiful entry point. You know, the 9 gave you a high. Normally, you want to wait for a green 2 above a green 1 above the high. It was close. It was close. But this is the daily AMD. That is your short trade. You should be on a break-even stop by now. Your target is $25. Target's 25. You're short at 30. Beautiful trade on AMD. All right, now TLRY. Yeah, I like I said last time I looked at it, this is the daily chart. I think this thing is going back to $30. It topped on a 9-ish candle. I think it's going back to this area. I just don't see any support. It went up too fast. Once it breaks this low, you're in trouble. I don't like it. That's it. This is a hyperwave, right? It's a very, very, I mean, it's a mini, it's not even a hyperwave, right? Like you need like years of weekly candles. So it just looks so perfect, right? It fell in 3 days. It made its secondary high, and this thing is going back down. I think it's going back down to 40 or something. I'm bearish. I wouldn't like. I mean, it'll get you a 9 candle next week. Yeah, like it's hype. It's hype. This thing is going back to like $40. I'm bearish. All right. So this is now going to be saved as rename, and then TLRY. Save. Now I can close this chart, and I can open the AMD chart. Oh wow, how old is unnamed also. I can open the AMD chart, which had TLRY on it, and I can make this AMD, and I can make it a weekly chart, and I can save it as such. Rename. The weekly. Oh, what a beautiful top. Yeah, that's why I was cautious about AMD. So AMD gave you a 913 combo at the high, 1 to 4 candle correction, then reevaluate. You are only on a 3rd candle of correction. So AMD can easily hit $25 and then set up for the countdown to the upside. But you are RSI is about to go into yeah, this is so AMD has a potential bottom here at 16. I wouldn't be surprised to see AMD go to a 9. As long as the 9 is above $16, it will perfectly back test the prior high. That's the prior high, or that zone is the prior high. $15, $16 zone is beautiful. If AMD has a bad earnings call, which they probably might because of mining losses and people buying less of their chips this quarter, it can easily fall down to 16. Look for a 9 at the low on a back test above the setup trend line, and AMD would be a nice pickup. Hopefully, I will be paying attention because my 401k can use the boost. I think AMD should do well in the future. I just think that as short term, you want to pick up AMD in the bottomest bottom of the Bitcoin bear market, right? So if Bitcoin crashes, AMD will probably crash. You want to pick up AMD as before Bitcoin bottoms because people are going to speculate in AMD. My homework assignment for Leah is still, she's a bad student. She was supposed to put together a list of all of the Bitcoin related, I'm kidding, Leah, it was a joke. Don't be mad at me, please. I am looking for like, not an official ETF of blockchain companies. Like there are so many legitimate companies in the world that are affiliated with the crypto space in a quasi way. AMD is one of them. So I would love some kind of an index we can put together of these stocks. You want to pick them up at Bitcoin lows or before the lows, and they should do well. Okay, next. Kidding, Leah. God, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. I might have to edit this video. Silver. Silver is silver is on a green 2 above a green 1 weekly. It can easily backtest the bottom of the triangle, but the fate of silver, I believe, is below $10. Apple looks great. However, in 2 days, you're going to have a 9. So be careful there. Facebook is the opposite of Apple. It looks like crap. You have a red 2 below a red 1, now a red 3 below a red 2. You're breaking below the yearly lows, not yearly lows, but below the summer lows. And that's bearish. That's very bearish. Glance at the weekly. Want to make sure we're not running into a 9 weekly. We did. We ran into a 9 weekly. We had a strong rebound off that 9. You are now on a red 2, below a red 1, below the 9. That is very bearish. Going below the setup trend line at 156 is even more bearish. Going below the prior swing lows, even more bearish. I think Facebook is in trouble. I think Facebook is in trouble. I think Facebook could go all the way down to the 130 area. Maybe it can pop for a head and shoulders, but I don't even think so. I think Facebook does not look very good. I don't know. I'm not. I'll wait. I'll wait for Elon Musk to learn his lesson, and then maybe I'll start looking at his stock again, like every investor should be right now. And what is this? Amazon? Yeah. So yesterday, Amazon raised the minimum wage. Of course, the socialist Bernie Sanders is all over the news praising Amazon. I think that's a mistake. I think we all suffer. I think prices on Amazon will have to slightly go up, and I think Amazon will have less profit. I mean, it's kind of good. I mean, if they want to help their employees, that's good. Nothing wrong with paying higher wages to your employees, but the stock's probably going to suffer for a bit. I am actually bearish. I mean, you can raise your employee salary. You don't have to double it, you know. I think the stock will suffer as a result because obviously, you see, you also have a duty to your shareholders, and when you double the salary of like 100,000 employees, your shareholders suffer, and your stock suffers, and the company can suffer, right? Because then the company has less money to do stuff. So we will see what happens. Thank you, all of the Ethereum stupid people that are continuously paying Amazon for web services and all of the Bcash stupid people that continue to pay Amazon for web services because all of those nodes are running over on Amazon. So you are subsidizing Amazon, so that, and people's salary. So I guess that's pretty good. All right. Yeah, Corey, thanks for pointing out that if the minimum wage kept up with inflation since 1960, that your minimum wage would be $20. But my only comeback is, if you still had to pay the same price for a computer you paid in 1980, you would be paying about $80,000 for a computer right now. Maybe 1980, but 1970. So just because the minimum wage right now is kind of low, it doesn't mean that you aren't compensated in other ways. All right. Yeah, we can have a whole debate about minimum wage. Huge debate. Okay. All right, I'll look at one more stock. I'll look at Netflix. This is daily Netflix. Netflix looks good. Looks good to me right here. We almost hit a 9 yesterday. If yesterday was, oh, I don't have my latest code. I'm like, wait, that doesn't look right. Let's drop all of this. Shows you how long it's been since I looked at Netflix. Last time I looked at Netflix was April 28th. Damn. Thank you, TradingView Blockchain, for timestamping. April 28th was the last time I looked at Netflix. No wonder my indicator is not the latest version, and my triple moving average didn't even exist then. And why did I do them twice? Oh, you know what? I want to flip them. There. Okay. Oh wait, why am I on Amazon? How did I get to Amazon? Oh, my bad. It's supposed to be here. So triple moving average and TI indicator. Beautiful. Actually, I want to put them the other way around. Yeah, see, that's why I like my new one, right? My new one gave me an arrow. And I knew that too. I looked at it, I'm like, hey, is my code buggy? Why isn't there a red arrow? And I'm like, oh, it wasn't the latest code. So Netflix was a 9 on a daily, so I'm not surprised it pulled back, just like there was a 9 right there. Not surprised it pulled back. Wall Street watches this stuff, guys. I don't pull it out of my ass. Didn't quite make it to a 9. There was another one of these 1 arrows. There was a combo 13 though. So Netflix looks great. Looks great. It's near the all-time high. All the moving averages are trending up. They're all above each other. This pullback could be down to this 30-period moving average. I really should get the 200 in there. That's just a 7-day. But that's fine. The 200, actually, I'm curious where the 200-day moving average is. Oh yeah, 200 is way down there. That's great. Yeah, it looks bullish, but look for a pullback, right? Give it a few days. Netflix usually reports their earnings earlier than the rest. I'm surprised TradingView doesn't have a date for Netflix's earnings. Weekly chart real quick, because I'm curious. Oh yeah, it's on a 7. We made it to an 8 last time. Be a little careful here. We can get to a 9 in a couple of weeks. Oh, there it is. There's your earnings. October 15th. Yeah, so why isn't it on a daily chart? There it is. Thank you. That makes sense. Netflix usually has earlier earnings. That could be the top of the 9. Then you have earnings, and then it could drop. Thank you for your tip. Oh, Homitel Network. Huh. Wonder if I know who that is. All right. Thanks for your comment. I see that you're staying short and looking to add. Good luck. Good luck with your trading. I want everyone to make money and be successful, unless you're holding Ripple. All right. Next. Bitcoin Wednesday. I need to go there soon, actually. So find me there. Check it out. It's like $20, 20 euros. And this is where it is. It's actually kind of far from center of Amsterdam for me anyway. So I'll have to take a train or something, or Uber. I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet. I got to figure out how to get there. I'm going to head my way there, try to find like a coffee shop, do some work. After that, I'm off to Prague. We have a carnivory dinner. And then I'm off to Ukraine, and then Singapore. And then Singapore again with a month in Australia in between. We have 600 viewers right now. Hey guys, workshops. I added New Zealand. New Zealand is official. Well, not literally, I have to find a venue and catering and stuff. But Auckland, New Zealand, December 2nd after Australia. If you've signed up for Australia and you live in New Zealand, you can switch your registration over to New Zealand. I will now go to New Zealand after all of this in Australia. And once again, if you guys like my work and want to support my work, please check out the affiliate codes. I need to add more affiliate codes because there are a few more. There are some legitimate companies in the space. Very unfortunate about one broker. I really hope BitMax does not, violate any of the US swap and derivative laws. As long as they only stick to crypto and crypto, I believe they're okay. I do not believe BitMax is in violation of any of those laws, but the SEC can say whatever they like. I really hope BitMax sticks around. Like I said, I'm a big fan of BitMax. I think they are one of the more legitimate exchanges in the space. Okay. So please, if you're going to sign up and trade there, just use that link. It's my Twitter. Okay, questions. Shit, I'm like taking my time here. Corey had a bunch of questions for me last time that I didn't even get to. All right, let's see. All right, those are the new questions. Let me get to your old questions. Okay, there were a couple of good questions last time that I didn't get to, so I'll get to them now. I hope that people are on. Are you concerned that only 7% of the Bitcoin nodes have updated to the new update? No, I am not concerned. I probably cut the camera here. Let's cut the camera. No, I'm not actually concerned. The giant bug that the B trashers like to point out was going to destroy Bitcoin and cause inflation. No one was actually going to be dumb enough to activate it. Now they will activate it. They will run the bug on Bcash because you can exit into Bitcoin and profit. But if you execute this bug on Bitcoin, you will not profit. So it doesn't matter to me. It's kind of like SegWit. There is still 50% of stupid companies in the space that haven't adopted SegWit yet. Blockchain.info is the worst wallet. Like, it's borderline above a wallet that actually scams you, right? So you have scam wallets, right? These are wallets where they pretend to be real wallets, but some jabroni at home is creating all of the private keys for you, and he knows all the private keys. So one day he's just going to steal all your Bitcoin. That's the scam wallets out there, and blockchain.info is like one step above that. They're not going to steal your Bitcoin, but I think they are so incompetent that you have to be you have to be crazy to leave your Bitcoin with blockchain.info. I think it's the most incompetent wallet in the space, okay? And they still have not converted to SegWit, which proves how incompetent they actually are after the CEO had said in January of 2017, not January of 2018. We're about to go to January of 2019. He said in January of 2017, they were SegWit ready, and they still haven't done it yet, okay? And any other company that still haven't adopted SegWit. So no, it doesn't worry me that 7% of the Bitcoin nodes have converted. Eventually, they all will, at least the nodes that matter. Also, because we know about this bug, if anyone actually runs the bug, they would be kicked off the network. And 7% of Bitcoin nodes is way more decentralized than any other crypto. So here's what you guys have to understand, right? Like 7% of Bitcoin nodes that have upgraded to fix this bug, that 7% of the Bitcoin space is more decentralized than any other crypto by miles, So like 5% of Bitcoin is more decentralized than its next biggest competitor. And it doesn't matter who you think its next biggest competitor is, because I don't think Bitcoin has any competitors. Whether it's Litecoin, Monero, Zcash, Btrash, it doesn't matter, right? 7% of Bitcoin is way more decentralized from a node perspective than any other blockchain, assuming it's a blockchain. Because if it's not proof of work, if it's not 100% proof of work without an insta-mine and without a pre-mine, it's not a blockchain. All right, next. If I had money on the side, I would wait. I wouldn't put it in Bitcoin right now. So you're basically asking me, when do I become bullish? So I would either, I would either wait for Bitcoin to go above 10,000, or I would wait for new lows below 5,000. Okay. If we, the only way I would put my money on the side into Bitcoin, if we don't go below 5,000, I would do it at above 10,000. If we go below 5,000, I would potentially deploy that money into Bitcoin below 10,000, but I can't tell you when yet, right? So it could be at 6,000, it could be at 8,000. If we keep going down, it could be at 1,000. Who knows, right? So that's basically your question. Next. Yeah, I took a look at the compound Fulcrum and just check out my last video. Tone, could it be that short squeeze ends the bear market, or we could go up to 8,000? Oh yeah, that was the breakout of the triangle part. I should probably talk about that. Tone, can any hedge fund pump and dump any coin for making money? Of course they can, but a bigger hedge fund can wipe them out as well. Hey, in which special case would you enter a long trade on a green one? It's not a special case, right? So basically, I can show you that. So I think those were the questions that we had. Yeah, let me answer that one, and then we'll talk about the triangle short squeeze. And then I'll get to the other questions. So let me go back to screen share. So here is a monthly chart, right? You see this monthly 9? That is a green 1. I don't even need to display it. That's a green 1. That's a weekly chart, sorry. This is a borderline deployable to the upside. But I remember what I said on this candle. I said I would be careful. I would need this 9 at the low. Okay, so let me show you an example of that. Here is a daily chart. If you go back to my videos of the daily chart to February, here, right? I wish this was a 9 candle. So this was actually deployable. You can buy into this because it's a huge rebound of the 6,000. Then you have the 9 candle. Then you have the 1 candle. You don't even have to wait for the green 1. You could already start buying into this, and I did with my videos, right? Go back to these videos, right? So all through here, like your 9 is probably either the beginning of your bullish trade or a double down of the 8. Your green 1 is either a late start to the bullish trend or a double down of the 9 or a triple down of the 8, and then you have a green 2 above a green 1, right? So you need a 9 at the low. You need a 9 at the low, and you don't even have to wait for the 1 candle. So look at here's the S&P 500. Here's the daily S&P 500. If you go back to the video that I did right here on this day, I didn't even wait for this candle to close. I was a big bull off the 9, and then I didn't even have to wait. The green 1 came like 4 candles too late, right? So you're already going in on a 9, and then if this was a green 1, great. If that was a green 2, great. If not, that's a green 1. So you're already getting in. So you're only supposed to do that off the 9s. If the 1 is in the same direction, I would wait for the 2 candle, right? Like here. Like this is a 1 candle above the 9. After the 9, I would not be so eager. The 2 did not go above the 1, but the 3 went above the 2 and above the 9. So that's when I would be bullish again. Okay, back to the triangle, back to the weekly triangle. So what happens if this triangle breaks to the upside? Well, if it breaks to the upside, then your target is $6,600 to the upside, right? If we break to the upside, $6,600 to the upside. Where would that be, actually? I'm curious. So let's say we break out. $100 up. 100% up. Assuming we break out, November 5th, right? I should make this green to avoid confusion. I'm not saying it's going to go there, right? This is educational purposes only here. Okay, 100% upside, $6,600. That takes you to 14,000. That's the target. Okay, that's the target of this. I'd be a bull before that, and that's what I mean, right? Like that's a substantial enough up move that you break all resistance points and then you pull back to a support level of the prior high, the 200-week moving average. Sorry, that's down there. The 50-week moving average. So that's sufficient enough to kick off the next bull trend. So it's possible. It's very possible. Not likely. Not likely. If I had to guess, what are the chances this will happen? 15%. It's possible, but not likely. We're at 64.15, guys. We're not doing too well, are we? Here's the daily chart on a bearish trade. 12-hour chart on a bearish trade. This is 64.61. What's going on here? Hold on. But this is 64.60. Oh, this is Bitstamp. Bitstamp is now lower than Bitfinex. Okay, that's fine. Oh yeah, well, our hour flipped. This is the 4-hour chart, 7 of 9. 1-hour chart. Right. So if I wouldn't, so on a 1-hour chart, I wouldn't trade this hour. But if the next hour is lower than the current hour, lower than the 9, at a new low close hourly, then I'm totally in line with the bearish 4-hour and the bearish 12-hour and the bearish daily and the potentially bearish weekly if we fall all the way to 61.50. All right, new questions. S&P 500 is showing bearish divergence on the RSI. What happens if the S&P drops? Is Bitcoin going to follow or the other way around, like the beginning of the year 2018. Oh, and I just remembered, I need to talk about something else. I need to talk about seasonality. Holy shit. All of a sudden, everyone, it's like everyone is on the same stupid group thing. One guy says seasonality, or two guys, or a guy and a girl say seasonality, and everyone is on the seasonality bandwagon. Holy shit, guys. The seasonality of Bitcoin is a terrible metric. Terrible metric. If you think that seasonality, Bitcoin goes up in October, November because of seasonality, you have unreasonable amount of data bias. The Bitcoin had its biggest run-ups in October, November of 2013 and October, November of 2018. It was probably a gross coincidence. It's the same coincidence that we are going down in exactly the same months now than we did in 2014, right? So your entire seasonality of Bitcoin having a good October, November is a 2-year coincidental bias of the biggest bull runs the Bitcoin market has ever seen, okay? The prior bull, there were a couple of bull runs, but that's your gross seasonality bias, right? The other big one took place back in 2011, but I don't know how far back your data goes, right? I mean, if you don't use the 2011 data, then you don't have seasonality for the summer and what happened in the summer of 2011. I'm assuming you're still using seasonality of when Bitcoin went up in, in January through March of 2013. But you can't use October, November seasonality because for 2 years, it was those 2 years, right? The Bitcoin didn't go up in October, November of 2014 or 2015. Well, 2015 went up a little bit, right? It was mostly flat. I mean, you can't use that. There's not enough data. Wait till there's like 20 years of data there. Jesus, people. All right, back to the questions. Divergence on the S&P. I see it, but that's not how divergence is really used, right? Look, we are in this very steady channel. And the only reason you have divergence is because when you made the high in January, it wasn't a steady channel, it was a big run-up. But this is a big channel. So the steepness of this channel is such that it doesn't allow you to go as high on your momentum. It's actually slow and steady. I would not pay attention to this divergence personally. So, and it depends on how bad okay, I have like 2 minutes. I need to get going, guys. Yeah, I see the divergence. It's not scary to me. All right, next. I know you are all traders, but isn't this level because of mining costs a good time to get in? No, it's not. I've debunked the mining cost perspective. Yeah, I think we'll be at new highs within 2 to 3 years. It feels like closer to 3 at this point. Why do you think the Ethereum USD is moving more volatile than Bitcoin USD? Wow, I'm sorry. This is just such an... For the same reason... Trying to think here. Man, what's a good analogy? Ethereum USD is more volatile than Bitcoin USD is because Ethereum is useless. Okay, it's useless. It's a scam token. It's useless. It's like saying, how come the stock of this, Chinese I don't know, fake GoPro company is more volatile than GoPro, right? How come Overstock is more volatile than Amazon? Because they're a tiny little, think they're competitor, but they're not. After breaching the top of the Bollinger Band, is it essential that the price action must break down the middle line of the Bollinger Bands, looking at the monthly Bitcoin USD chart? The way you phrase the question, the answer is no. Here is the monthly chart. We can throw Bollinger on. It's my last thing I'm going to do, Corey. Then I got to get going. Okay, style. I don't really want a background. I'm gonna put a thick red line at the top. That's the bases, right? Upper and lower. Okay. Bases can be, is yellow visible? Not really. Pink? Pink's visible. Right at the top, I'm gonna turn this off, and then, you know, deep green at the bottom or something. Okay. We're at the middle Bollinger Band monthly, right? We don't have to pierce it. No. It's good that we touched it. This is the 20-week moving average, 20-month moving average, by the way. It's good that we touched it. We could bounce off of it and go back to the upside, but sooner or later, your price will hit the lower monthly Bollinger Band. Probably later than sooner, right? Maybe when Bitcoin stabilizes at $1 million or something, right? I mean, like, there's no time element here. This can take forever. No, it doesn't have to break it, is the answer on Bollinger Bands. Okay, done. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm not sure how many viewers we are closing out with. We still have 660 viewers. Once again, if you like this channel and would like to support my work so I can keep bringing you more free content, please check out the affiliate section. And if you're going to sign up or buy any of these products, please support by clicking the link. And if you're going to shop at Amazon, do the same thing. Click on one of these links and just do your Amazon shopping. All right, guys, I got to get going. I was supposed to do a bunch of work this morning, but hung out here with you guys. And I hope this video was not much longer than an hour, but I believe it was like an hour and a half. And I will talk to you all on the next one. Bye, all.